Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Lift me like an olive branch and be my homeward dove. Dance me to the end of love.
Leonard Cohen there, the Canadian singer-songwriter, he of the mournful, throaty voice, not particularly mournful or throaty actually on that particular track, but he's turning 80 on Sunday, and next week he's releasing a new album. It's called Popular Problems. Well, one particular problem he's had to deal with, and perhaps helps to explain why he's still putting out records and touring rather vigorously, is financial. Former manager embezzled most of his pension fund. Well, I've been speaking to Leonard Cohen's longtime collaborator, Sharon Robinson. She doesn't have actually appear on this new record, but was very happy to hear it, and she joined me from Los Angeles.
It's a thrill to see him putting out a new album, and we just finished 6 years of touring late last year, and there seems to be no decline so far. You know.
None whatsoever. And in listening to the new album, his voice, you've obviously seen and heard very close up. Its evolution, I mean, it is so rich now, isn't it?
It is. It's wonderful. I tend to, at least privately, credit myself a little bit for that, because when we did 10 new songs in 2001, we tried some different things, and he started singing in a lower register, and I think that style of singing has evolved and just improved and gotten really, really amazing.
Just remind our listeners of how you two began working together.
Well, in 1979, I was working with Ann Margaret in Las Vegas, and a singer gave Jennifer Warnes my number, and Jennifer called me up to come over to her house and audition for her initially for the tour, which is now known as the Field Commander Cohen Tour. I sang with Jennifer. She, liked the way we sounded together, and then we went over to audition for Leonard directly, and obviously it went well. Yeah, and that was the start of it. And
how did
lovely.
It happen? I think people are always fascinated to hear how writing partnerships actually work together. What are you doing together? How does the inspiration happen? Were you sitting down talking? Are you cooking? What are you doing?
Yes, there is some cooking involved and a lot of talking, but mostly, Leonard had been studying Zen for several years before that and writing all during that time, and presented me with these amazing lyrics that he had been working on, these very sort of thoughtful and deep lyrics, and I would most of the time take the lyrics home and start working on the music.
What of the songs you've done with him, which are the ones that you are most proud of?
Oh, well, I love Alexandra Leaving. That lyric is just a gift.
Suddenly the night has grown colder.
I love Everybody Knows. There's a song on 10 New Songs that isn't as well known, but it's just magical. The song called Love Itself. In My Secret Life, I feel really fortunate to have participated in those songs.
And there you are on the cover in a very prominent. Was that important to you?
When Leonard designed the cover, he said, yeah, I think this is going to be the cover. He showed me the picture that he had taken with his computer, and I said, really? I was quite surprised.
Really?
And of course I was completely honored by that.
And we talk about his stamina, the fact he's toured. Of course, the sad fact is he's had to carry on touring, hasn't he? He's had this terrible financial deception in his life, which has meant he's had to continue working for the reasons that much, much younger and far less fated artists start off. I mean, people have said that has been a blessing in disguise in some ways, that the fact he's had to have these financial issues has spurred him on creatively. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, we never know the real outcome of a turn of events, and in this case I think it was something that was quite fortunate in the long run, because Leonard actually shared with me after we finished the tour that, quite to his surprise, that tour was fulfilling and satisfying for him in a way that he hadn't quite achieved before. So it was great to hear that.
You clearly have a very special relationship with him. He's godfather, I think, isn't he? Your son.
Yes.
You're extremely close. I mean, how would you characterise your relationship? It's an artistic one, but it's more than that, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a friendship that I've enjoyed and relied on for all these years, and you know, Leonard has taught me a lot about music, about life, you know, about love. It's been a gift beyond words, really.
And I'm sure you'll be delivering them personally, but what, for the public, are your birthday wishes for him?
Oh, just want to say happy birthday, Leonard. Congratulations on your 80th, and many happy and healthy years to come.
Rain from the sun above, so inside my little room, there plunge the rays of love.
Love Itself, I believe that track is.
It is indeed.
Yes, well, the man chipping in there, Philippe Sands. We're hearing there from Sharon Robinson, long-time collaborator with Leonard Cohen, who turns 80 tomorrow. And, you know, as I was doing research for that interview, I came across a very interesting interview with Sharon Robinson, looked at the byline, and there it is, Philippe Sands himself. You spent 3 days with her, didn't you, I think? And let's hear a bit about her. We'll talk about Leonard Cohen with Claire in a minute, but she's a remarkable musician herself.
She is a remarkable musician, and I think you heard there also what a generous and lovely person she is. I spent 3 days in Paris last year with her, and I spent a little time with him also. But it was a remarkable period. I've always loved the music, and I loved that album, 10 New Songs. And what I was particularly interested in was the way in which they collaborated. He calls her his closest collaborator.
One mind, I think he said.
Yeah, two people, one mind. And she took me through the process of the writing of a single song, and we actually took the song Alexandra Leaving, which interestingly is based on a poem written by Constantin Cavafy, which itself is based on a story from 2,000 years ago. So there's a historical depth and a richness, and they bring it out into a modern context. It's a really fantastic story of collaboration of two very different people with very different backgrounds coming together.
And I alluded to it in the interview, you said the modesty, that cover has them, they're given equal space on the cover of that album. It's a Leonard Cohen record, but she's there as well, given equal space, and she's surprised.
It was very interesting. I was at one moment standing with the two of them, and you feel it's an equal relationship. You don't feel there is a hierarchy in the sense of the collaboration. A friend of mine took a photograph, happened to be there, and it's a photograph of which I'm incredibly proud. In fact, I've just started tweeting, and I think I might now have to tweet it up on my, on my system. But you get the sense that it's a genuine partnership, and you feel that in another sense. Sharon has her own albums. She's got a new one coming out next year. She's doing a bit of touring later this year. She also has a book coming out in December. Yeah, on tour with Leonard Cohen. And what I've seen the...
Maybe you'll be in it.
I certainly won't be in it. But what you see in those photographs is of a real relationship of equals, and a very intimate set of images, not in an appropriate sense, but just different people working together.
I wonder if that's in part because they're very different. He is not really a singer. That's the fascinating thing about Leonard Cohen. He's not really a singer. His voice is no great shakes. It's lovely to listen to. No, it's beautiful. I'm not insulting him, but he's not, in our modern sense, a singer. He is a songwriter, and he's a poet. He is absolutely through and through a poet. I once saw a fabulous show called Tower of Song, I think it was, where other performers, Rufus and Martha Wainwright, the McGarrigle sisters, Nick Cave, performed his songs, which was a very different perspective, because what you were hearing was not Leonard Cohen singing Leonard Cohen, but you were hearing this extraordinary poetry and the amazing way he puts together songs.
It's interesting, the types of artists who have covered his songs range from, you know, the more mainstream ones to the Nick Caves. It's an interesting
Well, listen to the
breadth of people that he's influenced.
The Jeff Buckley cover of Hallelujah is just absolutely
Well, how many different Hallelujahs are there? I mean, it's just...
It's an astonishing
Yeah.
thing. But I can tie this to Scotland, I'm happy to tell you, because in the midst of the financial crisis, I went to a Leonard Cohen concert at the O2 Centre, and who was in the audience but the then Chancellor of the Exchequer, one Alistair Darling, who
led the
Better Together campaign.
No
campaign. He is a huge Leonard Cohen fan.
He should have used that in the campaign, because one of the problems with the Scottish campaign with Better Together was not absolutely, it wasn't great, and he should have used that because it would have won over a lot of voters.
Well, it was good to be together with both of you for this edition of Weekend. Claire Bolderson and Philippe Sands, thank you very much. I think we need to end with this rendition of Alexandra Leaving by Leonard Cohen, who celebrates his 80th birthday tomorrow. From me, James Coomarasamy, and the team, goodbye.
Alexandra leaving, then say goodbye to Alexandra Lost.